Are the future of free-to-play players in Watcher Realms in danger right now? That's the real question. So what we're going to do is, in today's video, we're going to be talking about guild versus guild, or guild war, I should say. And is this good? Is this bad for free-to-play? It's just going to be a complete pay-to-win fest. We can only speculate at this point. Of course, there's the Forerunner server where they have guild wars already underway here. And the question is, how good is it? So, I mean, you really have to start with looking at the rewards, right? If you're a free-to-play player, how okay are you personally with never seeing these rewards here? If you're free-to-play, it's unlikely, unless you're free-to-play for a long time and get really lucky, that you're in the top 3%, because most guilds, unfortunately, they require high BP, which is why I'm lucky to be in the guild I'm in, where we don't really care about BP stacking because we just want the smartest players in the game, and the BP part just kind of comes naturally with that. But on first glance here, 220 gems, 1,000 guild coins. I mean, the ancient summoning crystal is nice, the rare ones, whatever, and then 207 the guild XP, that's kind of big. But the question really is, what happens if you never see these results? And then going down, I mean, 70 gems, 110 gems, gold is 150. If I had to guess, like in most games, I would say most guilds that are active are going to be in like 50% or higher. That's just my guess based on what I've seen from other games. The majority are really clumped up into like, it's looking like the silver bracket. So these are the rewards. They're not that impressive. Now, keeping in mind that this is just a beta test, maybe they're not showing us the full rewards now, and they do in fact get better. But even if you're like a top ranked guild, like for a player like me that I'm expecting our guild to be in one of the first two brackets, most likely the first bracket, if you told me that I couldn't get this every guild war, I would be like, okay, like that's fine. 220 gems, 1,000 guild coins, ancient, rare, guild XP, whatever. But again, I don't think we have all the information here, and there are, let's see, all clear rewards, attack. Okay, so it looks like we also get rewards per attack here, and it gives us this nice little tutorial. I would say one thing that I'm kind of disappointed in, and I'm sure everyone's going to agree with me when I say this, I kind of wanted to see some type of match where, I mean, think about how cool this would be. Instead of demons, hear me out, instead of demons, we get to use our own heroes and our own heroes gear. Let's do this. Let's do this into this and this. Is that all I can do here? I guess so. Save settings, start battle. So what I would want to see, and what I think a lot of people were kind of hoping for, is for a battle like this, I don't have to do anything, right? Yeah, just auto fights. How cool would it be if they sent your own heroes moving in like a calculated pattern, I guess that's the right word. I don't know. I just think that would be a really cool thing to do for sure here. Okay, so we're dealing damage here, and we're actually kind of cleaning the floor with these guys. I'm pretty sure the tutorial is meant for you to like instantly win. So anyways, the strategy is probably going to be you send a tanky unit in there, and you send in a fast unit to like overwhelm if your DPS can't beat it, and it is what it is. So maybe after seeing that, the rewards are going to slowly build up and get better and better, which means it's going to be worth it. But I really don't think so, as of right now at least. So it should be okay for free-to-play players. Now, as far as your demon soldiers, I mean, farm what you can farm, right? To do this, I don't think there's a better way besides going to the highest BP that you can get out of a hero, clicking on the next available one, hitting affiliate, and then you win, right? Of course, there's upgrading, and this is kind of why I think it's going to be pay to win, because farming dungeons gives you the option to get drops, right? I obviously haven't been farming. If you're watching from my guild, I'm sorry. I have no level 2 anything. And the bonuses for level 5, if you scroll through these, they're kind of OP. So if you're a whale and you're permanently farming, like whales should be doing, instead of stacking BP, I know I keep kind of throwing shade, but it's weird to see that guilds are doing this. If you're permanently farming and you get these level 5 bonuses, I don't think anyone can beat you. I really don't, because they're that good. And if you're free to play, you're probably not spending 15,000 stamina, you heard that right, 15,000 stamina each day on farming gear raids. So that's why I do think this is going to be a pretty pay-to-win aspect of the game, but if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, and all is good on that front if the rewards stay as we saw. However, I wasn't considering that after each round or fight you do, you actually gain a reward. So like I said, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this is just going to be really good. I don't know. So as of right now, I really do think it's okay for the free-to-play players because it's just something else to do. I don't think if you're in a guild and you're free to play, they're going to be like, listen, if you don't have level 2 troops by 2 months from now, you're out. If they do that, you probably shouldn't be in there anyways, because it sounds like a pretty cringe guild. But that is kind of my initial reaction on guild versus guild. Is it cool? Not really. I mean, I haven't tried it yet, of course, because the battle phase isn't yet, and then there's like a calculation phase, which should be instant, right, after the battle phase. I'm not sure why it's on the next day, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm kind of underwhelmed with this. I guess it's kind of a cool idea to have demon soldiers, but yes, this is an AFK game, and maybe I'm asking for too much, but wouldn't it have been cool if they just... maybe it would have been more pay to win if you could use your own heroes and send them in a formation towards your enemy, but I think that's kind of what we all wanted to see out of something that's truly guild versus guild. Maybe they'll do that in the future. Who knows? Maybe they will do that in the future where it's kind of like a guild boss setting and the defender sets up their team of their own heroes with their own gear and their own whatever build they have, and you have to place units, and then you hit go and you just start fighting each other. Healing, ultimates, all of that time, that would be really, really cool. I think that's like a proper guild versus guild. Who can get the most points? Who can beat the most teams? It's kind of like live arena in a sense, but it's not live, right? Because it's literally team versus team. You're both setting a defense and setting an offense. And as soon as you hit go, everything's activated at once. There's no cost requirement, and you just fight and see who can win. I think that would be sweet. That would add so much to the game, but we're working with what we have here. So I'm curious about the current community's take on guild versus guild. Are you hyped for it? Are you not hyped for it? What should we hope to see out of this? Hopefully the rewards for the top end aren't too crazy and they stay similar. I know it's kind of a weird thing to ask. You don't want the rewards to be as worth it because currently they're not worth it. But if you make them too good, you really start squeezing the free-to-play players, which I don't think is going to be a good look. As it is, we're already getting one ancient summoning crystal if you are in the top percentile of guild versus guild. I'm curious to see how active this is going to be, if players like it or if they don't like it. I don't know. It's a gamble and a dice roll at this moment. I think from what the feedback I've seen, it's pretty split 50-50. They're like, this looks kind of dumb, but it could be cool, but also it still looks kind of dumb. So I don't know. I guess only time will tell once we start getting into the battle phases. We can watch the footage from Forerunner, but until we see it and play it for ourselves, we're not really going to know how excited or disappointed we are in this actual mechanic. So give me your thoughts. What do you think? Are you hyped for it? What do you think they could do to make this better? Kind of like my suggestion where let us use our heroes that we've spent all this time farming for. It's kind of weird to give us other units now and say, hey, sick, you have amazing gear, but we want you to use these demon soldiers instead. So that's kind of where I'm kind of going with that whole point here. But that's going to conclude this short video on guild versus guild. Let it hang in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next upload.